In this video, we're going to discuss custom columns. We're going to talk about how we create or manage them, how we apply and remove them, and how we filter on them. Custom columns are extremely powerful. We're utilized widely in our legal customer base, but not nearly as prevalently within our forensics customer base. I think it has applications across the board in all markets. So I encourage you guys to learn and understand custom columns because, again, they're very cool. Custom columns are primarily utilized and dealt with and managed in the coding panel. So let's open up the coding panel and go directly there. You can see we're already logged into our video demo case here. And we don't have any custom columns at the moment. Got some labels, but that's not relevant to this video. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a little bit more real estate here, just so we can just have the custom columns on the screen. And let's explore what type of columns we have access to. To do that, we right-click here on the categories line, and we get this right context menu. And we can see there are 5 types of custom columns we can create. Date, number, and text are all pretty straightforward. They're just as their name suggests. Then there's checkbox and radio button, which are slightly more complex, but pretty self-explanatory. A radio button is a single value option, like you can choose a yes or a no. And a checkbox is a multiple value option where you could have, red, yellow, blue, or whatever. So let's go ahead and create both a text button, a text column, and a checkbox so you get the idea of how the various different ones work. Let's start with text. You can see it asks us to name our column. It's very clear, no spaces. If you enter spaces, it will not work. We'll call this demo text. And then we're going to right click again and do our checkbox. And we'll call this demo check. And we'll go ahead and add that. Now, the demo check needs sub values. It's of type checkbox, and checkbox is a multi-value option. So we have to create those values. To do that, we right-click on demo check, and we go new value. And then we edit that, and we go val1 and update. And we edit this one. Create another one, excuse me. And we do val2. And update. All right, perfect. Now we have our checkbox option with 2 sub options, or checkbox column, excuse me, with 2 sub options, and our demo text. Let's open up the grid and see how we can use these. Now, the first thing to know is that to utilize a custom column, you have to put the custom column into the grid. Well, actually, that's not true. To be clear, you can utilize it, but to see the fruits of your label, you need to be able to see it in the grid. So let's go here to General and Select. And you can see the third option down is Custom Columns. And when you open it, you should see both the custom columns you just created. They have the notation CC_C. And then the name of the custom column, and then the exact date and time it was created. Let's go ahead and add both of these. We don't really need any of the other columns, so I'm going to remove them, so I don't have to do this game of sliding columns around. Get rid of these. And apply. And we should end up with our 2 custom columns right there and there. Perfect. It's exactly what we wanted. So let's go ahead and add a value. So it works just like it does for labeling. Let's go ahead and do demo value test, and we can click on apply, and that should add that to both of these columns right there, just like we expected. And if we go ahead and refresh that, we should see that those have been made permanent, and they are exactly. Now, for the checkbox value, it's going to be a little bit, it's not going to work exactly because, again, if you review the coding panel video, you'll see you're really meant to add these down here and utilize them from the coding panel. Because I haven't done that, because I'm doing it here, I'm going to be limited in the fact that I'll only be able to apply one of these at a time. So let's just go ahead and do that though, because at least applying one of them at a time will work. And we go ahead and click that, and you can see it starts out the number 4, and you're like, Tim, I don't want the number 4, I want the actual value. But you'll see when you refresh that, that it will in fact become the actual value. It starts out as 4 because that's in fact the database number it's given, but then when you refresh it will send back the actual value. So that's how you use coding columns or custom columns. They're really quite powerful. Things like checkboxes and radio buttons will also show up in the filter widget under categories. So you can see under categories, we have the demo check and then the various options. And I think if we refresh that, we should see that those actually get the value. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. The value of this was double assigned. You can filter on them. That's not true for, of course, text numbers or dates, because fundamentally they're not filterable values. Those you would filter right here by just doing the normal contains, demo, and it would filter it like it would any column. So anyway, that's custom columns. Hopefully that's helpful, and take advantage of them. They're quite powerful. Thank you very much.